Jai Sri Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadara, Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, we welcome you all for Spiritual Scientist Weekly program. Today's topic is the divine science of Vedic cosmology. So I'm very happy to introduce today's speaker is Grace Vrindavana Shyam Prabhu. Vrindavan Shyam Prabhu is my very close, very dear friend. Prabhuji is my god brother, disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. Prabhuji came in contact, is very senior, one of the senior most devotee in Bangalore. Prabhuji came in contact with Krishna consciousness in 1995 in Belagaum city. Prabhuji is native to Belagaum. Prabhuji is native to Belagaum, and when he was in school days, he came in contact with Krishna consciousness. Then later, when he was doing engineering in University College of College of Engineering in Bangalore, UVCE, civil engineering, he came in very close contact with devotees in Bangalore, especially His Grace Chaitanya Avatari Prabhu. And since 2007, actually, he was in Bangalore, and 2005, Prabhuji got initiated by Guru Maharaj. Later, after his initiation, he moved to Middle East countries. He worked in Kuwait and Abu Dhabi, then Oman, and many other countries in Middle East countries. He was involved in many, he was working in many big construction companies. He is basically a civil engineer, and he worked for projects in various countries. Later, in 2010, when the Vedic Planetarium project was started, Prabhuji was very closely was involved in Vedic Planetarium temple construction in ISKCON headquarters, Mayapur. So Prabhuji has served in various capacities since his college days, in earliest 2000 in Bangalore, in earliest preaching efforts in Bangalore East region. And Prabhuji has done various services in book distribution and Bhakti Ruksha programs, many temple construction, including our Gandharika Giridhari temple construction. So it continues, Prabhuji's many services. When Prabhuji was very closely involved in ISKCON Mayapur Vedic Planetarium temple construction, he has done a lot of research on the present day topic, the Vedic cosmology, Vedic planetarium. Since he was one of the brain behind the temple construction, Prabhuji has done some research on this. So I'm very happy to introduce His Grace Vrindavan Shyam Prabhu, my very dear god brother. And so on behalf of ISKCON Narasimha Temple, on behalf of Bhaktavatsala Circle and all the devotees assembled here, I'm very happy to welcome Prabhuji. Let us all chant one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra and welcome Vrindavan Shyam Prabhu to present this class. Please unmute and chant one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra so that we all with love, with respect, will welcome Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare
Rama Rama
Krishna. And very interesting, important is Prabhuji is the son-in-law of our very senior devotee, His Grace Ramana Gauranga Prabhu and Sevika Madhavi Mataji. Now presently they are in Melkote. So with this brief introduction, I request His Grace Vrindavan Shyam Prabhu to kindly take the session and bless all the devotees. Prabhuji, I am making you host. And I request all the devotees, please call your relatives and all the known people, whoever you know, to get benefit of the session. So you can please make calls. You can check who is not there present, and you can please call them and invite. So they will be benefited. Whoever you call, they will be benefited. Hare Krishna. Please make immediate some calls, and at least each one of you try to bring at least 2, at least 3, at least 4, at least 5. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna devotees. So I'll do a small 5 minutes kirtan, then we'll go for the class. So today's topic is Vedic cosmology. So I hope everyone.
Yes,
Ready,
Prabhu.
Prabhu?
Can you make yourself spotlight, Prabhu, so that your video will be visible to everybody? So there is an option for spotlight. If you press upon your own name in the screen, there is an option for spotlight. Your name, Prabhu. Participants, you can go to participants. In the list of participants, your name, click spotlight. Can I do for you, Prabhu? Otherwise,
Yeah.
I have to control the host actually. Then name host. Spotlight for everyone. Prabhu, please proceed, Prabhu. Please proceed. Now you share your screen.
Yes, Prabhu. So today's topic is Vedic cosmology. So we'll start with the small kirtan, then we'll go ahead. Jaya Radha. I'm audible to everyone?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are audible. Prabhu.
Yes. Jaya Radha Madhava. Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallava. Rivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava. Jayo Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava. Jayo Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe. Jayo Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe. Jayo Vrindavana Dham Jayo Krishna Balaram. Krishna Balaram Jayo Vrindavana Dham Jayo Krishna Balaram. Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jayo Vrindavana Dham. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Jayo Radha Madhav Jayo Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe Jayo Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jayo Krishna Balaram Jayo Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe Jayo Prabhupada Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna devotees. So, today's topic is basically the Bhagavad Purana or Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto, basically the Vedic cosmology. Starts with Vedic cosmology, and if you see, it is said Bhagavad Puran, and it covers the Vedic cosmology. As we know, we have studied in schools and colleges many things about planets and how the planetary system works and all those things. But if you see Prabhupada, because of Prabhupada, we could see the actual way it has been created, and how Krishna has created this material world and the spiritual world also existing in similar way. So before starting, I'll just invocation prayers I'll say, then we can start. Nigama kalpataru galitam phalam sukamukadamrita dravya samhita yuta bhagavataram sam amalam muhuru rasika bhuva bhavaka Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva naratvam devim saraswatim vyasam devi tato jaya buddhigate nashta prayesha budresh nityam bhagavate jaya bhagavati uttama shlaki bhaktir bhavati nishtiki mukam karoti vachalam langayati metrapatam devi guru dinatarinam Paramananda Madhav Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Ajnanatim Brandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshuranmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. So the first slide, it is saying that Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto, because we are covering most of the topics from 5th canto only. So if you see, before starting the 5th canto, Bhagavatam says about the creation into a second canto itself. So it says, Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 10 topics, and it describes the 10, each of the topics: creation of the universe, sub-creation, planetary system, protection by the Lord, creative impetus, change of Manus, science of God, returning home back to Godhead, liberation, and Samambunam. So this shloka is 210.1. It says, Sukha Atra Sarga Visargarcha Stanam Poshanam Dhaya Manamantrasya is Ishanukata Nirodha Muktir Ashraya. So this is how our universe is there. You can see the spiritual world. You can see the Brahmajyoti here in between, and the above part is all spiritual world, and below part is the material creation. So if you see in Bhagavatam, Prabhupada explains that this spiritual world is 75% and material world is 25%. So if you see in the whole creation, if you take a circle, you divide into 4 parts, and 75% is the spiritual world, and one corner Krishna creates this material world, whereas the spiritual world exists permanently, and he creates this material world in one corner of the spiritual sky itself, and that's called Mahatattva. And these all topics are covered in Sarga part. So as we read Sarga Visarga, so this 2 topics, what it says is, Sarga means, basically we saw that slide. Again, I'll go back to that slide. Atra Sarga Visargascha Stanam Poshanam Utthaya. Sarga and Visarga are what we studied in our textbooks and school days or in the colleges is Big Bang theory. Sarga is basically Big Bang theory. So what it says in Big Bang theory is all concoction or whatever the people, scientists have seen with the imperfect senses. Whereas if you see in Vedic cosmology, Sarga is the alternative of Big Bang theory. Then Visarga is the modern evolution, where it says human beings came from the monkeys or apes. So that is all wrong again. So if you see the Visarga part explains all the how this evolution happens actually. Evolution in the sense basically the soul transmigrates from bacteria to higher species and then reaches a human being, and before reaching human being it takes the body of a cow, then it takes human being, and it is born in a devotee family basically, and from there upon his activities and karma it descends to the other species of life and continues its journey in this material world. So if you see in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, the three important shlokas are mentioned here, that I am the source of spiritual and material worlds, everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly knows this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So Bhagavad Gita 10.8. So if you see, Krishna is the sole father of this creation, and Krishna is the only person exists in this universe. No living entities or even Brahma could come into presence. So second shloka says, I am the father of the universe, the mother and the support and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, purifier, salable Om. I am also Rig, Sam and Yajur Vedas. So if you see here also, Krishna is describing that he is mother and father of the universe, and he is a grandsire, and he is the object of knowledge. Once that material word, what we have to understand is who is Krishna and what is our relationship with Krishna. So as he says, he is our father. That is the relationship. Then he says he is a purifier. Then he is Om, which we chant before chanting any other mantras. So Om we chant. So he is a Om Salab. And he is also all the Vedas, big major Vedas. The whole big Bhagavad Gita. At the end. So these are the few shlokas from Bhagavad Gita which says about how this material world is created. So if you see here, I am showing the here that how Lord Krishna is eternal and Sanatana Dharma is eternal, and first living being is Brahma, and first living beings created by Brahma were Swayambhu Manu and Satyarupa. And Vedic knowledge, how many years it started? So if you see first living being, like this is the Brahma's duration, half duration has passed. So we'll see in the later slides how it is, what is the calculation of how many years he has passed or so many things. And if you see Christianity and Bible, it comes in 0.000. It's almost negligible kind of thing. They are Vedic, what you say, the Christianity and Bible and Islam and Quran. These are all like recently have come into picture. Whereas if you see Sanatana Dharma is eternal and it is created by the Supreme Lord himself to maintain this material world. So Bhagavatam 5th canto, the topic, the title is Creative Impetus, which we saw in the 2nd canto shloka, which mentions that it's called Sthanam. So this is a chart how Krishna has created the material world. You can see creation from here, it is creation. And we have passed half of the Brahma's life and half remaining. Here it shows. So Krishna expands as Balarama, then it goes on, it comes to Mahavishnu, who is the creator of this material world. From Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu is born, and Garbhodaksha Vishnu enters into each of the universes. Mahavishnu, when he breathes out, he, from his hair pores, all this universe created. That is the basic creation of the universe happens. Mahavishnu expands himself as Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and he enters each of the universes, and the further creation takes place. And when further creation takes place, in each living entity, Shirodaksha Vishnu resides as Paramatma to guide each and every living entity for all the activities, because we don't know anything about this material world. Unless Krishna guides us Shirodaksha Vishnu, we cannot do anything. For example, when we sleep, when you get up early morning, if we see for a minute, we are totally puzzled or something like, unless until Paramatma in our heart awakens and awakens our senses and tells all what is happened on the previous day or what is my name and all those things, then only I remember and start my further activities. That is the importance of Shirodaksha Vishnu, who is residing in every living entity and every part of the creation, even in the molecules and in between the molecules, it says in Brahma Samhita. So if you see in this 5th canto, main topic which covers Sthanam is 16th chapter and the first shloka. What does it say is, Sukadeva Goswami is asking the question that you have explained me about so many things. King Parikshit is asking to Sukadeva Goswami, basically, you have explained me that how sun is there and what is the Bhumandala and all those things. So he's asking what are the, he's further asking the location of each planet and everything in details. So further, Sukadeva Goswami says, so he says that in this chapter itself, he says about the second shloka, he says how Maharaj Priyavrata is one of the very good devotee of the Supreme Lord, and he created the there is a Bhumandala. We'll see the slides, next slides. In the Bhumandala, he created 7 oceans and 7 islands. Actually, the 7 oceans and 7 islands which we see on this earth is not that which is been described here. So we'll see that in the further slides. And this was done by Maharaj Priyavrata. So Maharaj Priyavrata, how did he do that is explained in the further shlokas and slides. And this platform where he created these 7 islands is called Bhumandala. So what is Bhumandala, we'll see further. Then the 4th shloka is answered by Sukadeva Goswami, that how Krishna is the main source of everything, and basically the material energy in this world is transformed into 3 qualities, Sattva-guna, Rajaguna and Tamaguna. And here Sukadeva Goswami is saying nobody can explain what is there in this material creation. If you are given a chance of life of a Brahma also, even Brahma cannot explain, it says. So it's just a minute endeavor to understand what is there in the material creation. So, and further it says, Nobody is perfect in this material world, and whatever speculation you might do, we cannot understand this spiritual material creation which is done by the Supreme Lord. It's so wonderful. But Sukadeva Goswami is trying. I'll try to explain whatever simple things so that you can understand what is there in this material world, and you can understand how great the Supreme Lord Krishna is. So basically, Sukadeva Goswami is telling us that we cannot understand this material world, but he is giving us few hints that how this material creation is done by the Supreme Lord, and it's so wonderful. So what is the significance and purpose of this fifth canto, which explains about the material world? So basically, to understand that this material world is maintained and protected by the Supreme Lord Vishnu only. We know that three deities are there: Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. So Brahma, what he does, he creates this 14 planetary system, and he creates 4 kinds of bodies, basically demigods, human beings, animals, and trees and shrubs. So Lord Brahma is in charge of creating 14 planetary system and the 4 bodies, which are demigods, human beings, animals, and trees. Then Lord Shiva, what he does, whatever Brahma has created, he is the deity for destroying whatever Brahma has created. That is his limit also again. But if you see, as I mentioned, the Mahatattva and all is given by the Supreme Lord Krishna only. He is the primary creator. And further, if you see, as Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and Shirodaksha Vishnu, he is the maintainer and protector of this universe. Nobody can maintain and protect the universe other than Lord Vishnu himself. So if you see, Shirodaksha Vishnu is in charge for all this maintenance and protection. And all the 14 planetary system, if you see, all the living entities are maintained by the Supreme Lord himself. So as Sukadeva Goswami was telling, the primary purpose is to engage all the living entities to understand the Supreme Lord and understand our relationship and go back home, go back to Godhead. And what is the overview? What are the locations what is the distance from the sun, and all those things are mentioned in geographical locations. And after knowing these things, we can increase our appreciation and understand how great is the Supreme Lord. And if you see, more details are given in Vayu Purana, Agni Purana, and even in Ramayana, we can understand how Lord Ram went to the Sri Lanka and other planetary system beyond Bhumandala also. Not beyond Bhumandala, in Bhumandala only there is a portion where Ram enters. And if you see, the material world, we say material, this is material and that is material. But if we see, everything is relationship with the Supreme Lord, so it cannot be separated. So everything becomes transcendental. So that's what is the significance of this fifth canto, telling us so many details about this material creation. So everything is relationship with the Supreme Lord. When we understand and appreciate, can really see how Supreme Lord exists in each and every element. So if you see in Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, 7th chapter, there is a sloka. The Lord's activities in association with his different energies should be described, appreciated, heard in accordance with the teachings of Supreme Lord. If this is done regularly with devotion and respect, one is sure to get out of the illusory energy of the Lord. So why we are reading this part of Bhagavatam? So that we can understand how Supreme Lord is relating to his energies and how he is creating this material world. So once we hear this and we discuss this topic within devotees, and we appreciate the Supreme Lord's creation and his energies, by doing this regularly, we will sure to get out of this illusion that we are this body and so many things we have studied in previous classes, I suppose. So we can understand more detail that we are the soul, and our relationship with the Supreme Lord is that we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So these all things can be, this illusion can be removed by regularly hearing these topics and discussing and diving deep into this topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's basically the fifth canto, which describes so much nicely the creation of the Supreme Lord, which is wonderful and beyond our tiny brain's conception or speculative knowledge, which is possible by our minute brains. If you see again here, why we are studying again this Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto is, we see there is a shloka from Bhagavad Gita which says, Janma karma cha me divyam yo me tatvitaha praktadeha punarjanma naiti mamiti swarjuna. One who knows transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving this body, take birth again in this material world, but attain my eternal abode, for Arjuna. So if you see my appearance and activities, so part of the activities is this creation also. So Krishna creates this material world and he comes to this material world, he exhibits himself as a human being and is trying to teach us how to stay in this material world, how to get back to him. So these are activities. Basically the creation also is an activity which is very important to understand, so that we can understand the greatness of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Basically Krishna as Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu and Mahavishnu. So what is the catch here is, like, whatever I'm telling now, whatever is Bhagavatam and Prabhupada has written in the Bhagavatam, we try to understand that as per our present experiences. So this slide shows that generally we see the words of the scriptures through experience in this world. So basically we have seen so many TV serials, or we have studied in our school and colleges. So we try to relate to those topics only. So we have to stop doing that and we have to experience what scriptures say, so that we can understand what exactly is there in this creation. Unless and until we give up that what we have seen in the TV serials or studied in our school, we cannot understand this Vedic part, Vedic cosmology, basically, to say. That's what it's this slide is important. So we have to stop speculation basically. So once we stop speculation, then we can really see and accept with full faith and full heart whatever is said in Bhagavatam. Then we can understand what is there in this creation. This process of creation will skip this slide. So we'll go to the further topic in the 5th canto itself. So basically it says Bhumandala, the horizontal structure of the universe. So if we see here, I have shown a lotus in the circle, and there is stem of the lotus and there is a leaf of the lotus. So we'll see what exactly is this as per the Vedic concept. So this is one universe. If you see, the Bhuloka, or this thing is mentioned here, this one. This is the leaf petal which I shown in the previous slide, and above planetary systems in the lotus flower, and below planetary system also in the lotus leaf. So what are these we'll see later. So here it says Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, which is Brahma's abode, and Bhuvarloka is the earth planet, and Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. These are the 7 planetary systems below, and earth including the 7 planetary system above the leaf, which I showed in the previous slide. So again the same thing is mentioned here. So if we see, this is how the one Brahmanda or one universe is there. Half of the thing is filled with the Garbhodaksha ocean. There is a leaf, and there is a stem, and there is a lotus petals. This is what is the description given in Bhagavatam. It describes that how this one universe is there. So if you see here, this part is Bhumandala, and so many things are further we'll discover as per the slides, or Bhagavatam says Vedic cosmology, it describes further. We'll see in the other slides. So if you see, this Bhumandala exists as a one uniform piece of entity, and Priyavarta, what he did, I described in the previous sloka, that he divided this into 7 islands. So what is the reason he divided? We'll see now. So it is said that in Bhagavatam that he has, whatever I could understand is, he had 7 sons and 10 sons, basically 3 sons took sannyas and 7 sons. To distribute this land into 7 equally to each of the sons, he divided this Bhumandala into 7 islands. So we'll see how he divided. This is the, you can see this part is before Priyavarta divided this Bhumandala into 7 oceans. So you can see here, this part is called Mount Meru, this the yellow part, and sun is there on the one part, and another part is dark. So King Priyavarta did not like that this creation, there should be night any part of the creation. So what he did, he himself expanded. He was such a great king, and he was very good devotee, so he could expand himself and created another sun, and divided this Bhumandala into 7 oceans, 7 islands. See here. So this is how we divided, and it's described that how much time it took for him and all those things in Bhagavatam. It's detailedly mentioned. I'll cover in the next slide. So this is King Priyavarta, and he created another sun, and it was effulgent, similar to the sun which was here existing, whatever sun we see now. And until he ruled, this Bhumandala was 24 hours, there was a sunlight there. Half of the portion by the original sun, and half of the portion by King Priyavarta as sun. And it is not that King Priyavarta was only sun, he created sun as riding on the chariot. He was there in the his king is there in the first island, and he was ruling there. So he was such a powerful king, there was no darkness in this Bhumandala actually. So what all he's done is mentioned in this slide basically. So King Priyavarta divided Bhumandala. He had 7 chariots. So 7 chariots in the sense, the dimension of the islands, each island are of similar size. what the farther he went, the size doubled actually. So that is the reason it mentions 7 chariots. That means his wheel of the chariot was increased to create the Bhumandala islands. See, you can see here the blue part is the ocean, the brown part is the island. So if we from sight itself, you can see each of the this sea and the island are double of the size. That's what we can understand here in that slide. And to create one island, it took him 26 days. It says 25.76 days. And what are the details also mentioned, that how he went 180 days from July 17th to January 15th, and from January 15th to July 16th. That is, he returned to the back to his kingdom. That's what is mentioned about how the 7 oceans and 7 islands were created. Again, I'm repeating that these 7 islands and 7 oceans are not the which we are seeing in this Earth planet. So in Bhagavatam, these 7 islands and 7 oceans are shown as a lotus petal. So lotus petal, we cannot we rarely see the photo of a lotus petal with 7 continuous petals. So I could get this photo. So this is what it shows. This is how it's described in the Bhagavatam. Bhumandala with 7 oceans and 7 islands. So if you see, Srila Prabhupada reminds us that that we cannot understand with our tiny brain what is there, how the Lord has created this material world. So we have to accept the authorities, or basically Srila Prabhupada and Vasudeva and previous acharyas, to understand the world. And why we are doing this? To appreciate how Lord creates the external energy, how he manifests this cosmic world, the material world. And Prabhupada says, with our experimental knowledge, we can neither verify whatever is created, or we cannot disapprove what is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So we have to just accept. So that's what we read in the initial topics of Bhagavad Gita and all that, that how Shruti is important, and we can understand only by Shruti, not by speculating. So that is very difficult to understand material creation with these two, with our imperfect senses basically. So only way to understand the creation is through Srimad Bhagavatam, and whatever we are studied in our schools and colleges, or whatever we see in the TVs or this thing, it's all in speculative form of this knowledge, or basically somebody I might have copied or something, or they keep on speculative by seeing whatever is visible through the naked eye or through the instruments or something like that. It's very like we know that there are 4 defects in us, and so we have imperfect senses basically. The eyes, this eyes, if it's in there is a light in the room, then we can see the ourself and our hand also. But once the light is off, we cannot see our hand also. So that is the imperfection of our eye. So with this imperfect senses, we cannot describe or understand the material creation, or even if spiritual world also. Since we can, with our, to some extent, we can experience this material world. If we try to understand the material world, then we can appreciate the Supreme Lord, and then understand more about the spiritual world also. So I said about these 7 islands. So each island, there is 7 different liquids actually. This I mentioned about the oceans. ocean has got a different liquids. So first ocean it says salt water. So our earth is near to this salt water. So that we'll find later how our earth is. The next island is called Palakshadvipa, and that is surrounded by sugarcane juice. Why it's called Palakshadvipa, I'll see later, because the tree, there is a tree here, it's called Palaksha tree. That is a similar thing. And next island is called Samaldipa, and that is covered by yogurt, I think so. Next slide we'll see. So again, this why we are studying this Bhagavatam 5th canto, it says that to understand the creation of the Supreme Lord, so that we can appreciate the Lila in Mathura and Vrindavan basically. Before going to that, we have to study what is there within our limit. Basically to say how the Lord created this universe and how he is maintaining it, how each and every part, these demigods are taking care of us, and so many details. If we understand, then we can really understand what is there in the spiritual world, or what Lord does in the Mathura and Vrindavan. Those Leelas can be appreciated, or we can really appreciate the Supreme Lord when we understand the Lord has done so much for us. Basically, this material creation based, we had a desire as we studied in Bhagavad Gita and all that courses, that we had a desire and we requested Lord to enjoy separately from the Lord. So Lord had to create this material world, and that if we understand that material world, how it's created, then we can understand how the spiritual world, or how the spiritual activities by the Supreme Lord takes place. Before here it says that before understanding the pastimes of Lord in Vrindavan, you have to understand, because we are neophyte devotees or beginner devotees, the Lord's pastime of creation of this material world has to be understood. And if you see scientists, they try to understand this material world without the lawmaker. Means we usually hear that sentence saying that we want Ram Raj without Ram. So we want to remove the creator of this, the whole and soul of the universe, that is Krishna himself, and we want to enjoy this material world without the Supreme Lord's presence. So this is what is done by the scientists. They want to forget this lawmaker. So Srimad Bhagavatam is pointing out there is a lawmaker, the creator of the universe, and he creates the law for the law of material universe. So everything is under his control and he's running it basically. If the scientists are thinking that they are doing something, or they are explaining Big Bang theory or something like that, it's a foolish endeavor to remove the lawmaker or to subtract the creator itself. So this is how the creation Bhumandala looks after King Priyavarta divided this into 7 oceans and 7 islands. So what are these 7 islands and 7 oceans? We'll see. First one, where salt water is called Jambudvipa, and there are deities for each of the dvipas actually. So there are 9 deities in the 9 varshas, which we'll be discovering later. And why it's named as Jambudvipa is there is a jambu tree. It's called Jambul. Basically, it's a Jambul tree. Similarly, then Palakshadvipa is sugarcane juice, and there is a Palaksha tree. Then Salamanadvika, liquor, alcohol basically, is the ocean, and that's called Salam. There is a Salman tree. Kushadvipa, there is a Kusha grass in that island, so it's called Kushadvipa, and the ocean next to adjacent to it is clarified butter. This is buttermilk basically. Then Karancha Dvipa, it's covered by milk ocean, and there is a Karancha mountain. Basically, this Dvipa is named by the mountain which is adjacent to it. It's called Karancha Dvipa. Then next is Sakya Dvipa, yogurt. So emulsified yogurt. Basically, it's like again when you mix, everything is mixed with the water only basically. So if you condense it, you will get salt here. First, we know that when we condense the sea water, we get salt. So if you condense the sugarcane ocean, we'll get sugarcane juice. So similarly, liquor, butter, and milk. So it's mixed with water basically to say. Here also Saka tree is there. So this Saka Dvipa is there. Then Pushkara Dvipa. Last ocean is sweet drinking water. And there is a lotus flower. The Dvipa is named after the lotus flower. It's called Pushkara. Pushkara is the lotus name actually. So which the deities here mentioned is this Pulaksha Dvipa is sun god is there, Salamana moon god is there, Kusha, Agni is there, Krancha Varuna Dev, Sakya Vayu Dev, and Pushkara Brahma Dev. So here even Brahma resides whenever he temporarily comes to this Bhumandala. It's his temporary place. So he has got a this lotus flower which is there. It's 1,000 petaled lotus flower, and it's very big, where even Brahma comes, and it's a temporary home or visiting place for him. This one. And these are the descriptions how the island is there and what is the dimensions. Basically, if you see, these dimensions are mentioned in million yojanas. So if you see here, so 1 yojana is 8 miles or 13 kilometers. So like that, if you calculate, you can get the distances in our present understandable way in kilometers. Basically, 1 yojana is 8 miles or 13 kilometers. So we'll see a video of 7 minutes. Then after that, we can, depending on the time and this thing, we can continue the class or
the night sky.
is it audible for everyone?
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu.
Dark blanket
Yes,
above
Prabhu.
our heads, adorned with shining stars, extending as far as the eye can see. One of the most appealing and mystifying.
Yes, Prabhu,
of all
audible, Prabhu.
Thank you,
The
Prabhu.
beauty and the majesty of the universe have inspired awe and reverence in the best brains throughout history.
There is a perfect brain behind all the natural physical laws. This most beautiful system of the sun, planets, and comets could only proceed from the counsel and dominion of a powerful and intelligent being.
A fundamental principle of Vedic cosmology is the existence of a dual reality. material and non-material. Here we see the non-material sky filled with innumerable planets of permanent stature. Among these, the topmost planet, Goloka, is shaped like a lotus flower, and it is here that the super-intelligent designer of the cosmos, Sri Krishna, resides with his associates. Although knowledge of the non-material realm remains beyond ordinary perception, the Vedic knowledge of the material cosmos has been recognized as extraordinary by many eminent Western thinkers.
As in Hindu mythology, it is a continual dance of creation and destruction involving the whole cosmos, the birth of all existence and of all natural phenomena. Long before it became a scientific aspiration to estimate the age of the Earth, many elaborate systems of the world chronology had been devised by the sages of antiquity. The most remarkable of these occult timescales is that of the ancient Hindus. Indian cosmologists, the first to estimate the age of the Earth at more than 4 billion years, they came closest to the modern ideas of atomism, quantum physics. To the philosophers of India, however, relativity is no new discovery, just as the concept of light years is no matter for astonishment to people used to thinking of time in millions of kalpas. A kalpa is about 4,320,000 years.
Thus, the Vedic literatures answer the question whether the cosmos always existed or it had a beginning. The temporal arena of repeated universal creations and destructions exists in a corner of the non-material sky.
This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again.
The only religion in which the time scale is 0.64 billion years long.
The material universe works on the principle of relative time. As such, a day of Brahma equals 8.64 billion years by earthly calculation. Since Brahma has passed half of his lifetime thus far, the age of our universe turns out to be approximately 155 trillion years. Behold a form of the superintelligent being Vishnu, reclining in mystic slumber amid the causal ocean. When he exhales, millions of universes issue from his body and expand until he inhales when all the universes return within him. The universe is a sphere encased by successive coverings of the elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, intelligence, and ego. As a coconut has its hard outer shell and inner liquid, so the universe has its outer coverings and an inner space half filled with ocean water. On that ocean, another Vishnu expansion reclined on a serpent bed while being massaged by his consort Lakshmi. From his navel arose a lotus on which Brahma was born. Initially, the universe was pitch dark and Brahma engaged in meditation. Then he was empowered to create the universe. This account of creation may appear fantastic to some, but modern scientific theories also require fantastic leaps of faith to explain the origin of the universe. From the words of eminent physicist Stephen Hawking,
either we have failed to see 99% of the universe, or we are wrong about how the universe began.
Means that the universe is made up of 14 vertically arranged planetary systems, or lokas. Each system resembles a galaxy and comprises stars, planets, and other celestial bodies. The topmost planetary system is Satyaloka, the abode of Brahma, which is at a height of 1.87 billion miles above Earth. Below the Satyaloka planetary system is the Tapaloka planetary system, the abode of the ascetics, which is at a height of nearly 1 billion miles above the Earth. Here, the ascetics live in a solitary, serene environment, conducive for yoga and meditation on transcendence. Their disciplined life of joyous austerity prepares them for returning back to the non-material world. As we move down from Tapaloka, we pass through Maharloka and Janaloka until we reach the Svargaloka planetary system, also known as heaven. The alignment of heavenly bodies around the pole star was elucidated by Srila Prabhupada in a letter.
You can see that the light of the whole planetary system is turning around, and the pole star in the
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So I think so. Already time.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
If you have time, you can please take some questions.
It's not audible, Prabhuji. Is it audible for others?
No.
It's not audible, Prabhuji. Any other doubts in the whatever I have covered until now, so that we can.
Hare Krishna. So I request all the participants to kindly ask if you have any doubts regarding what Prabhuji had taught. So your doubts will raise some more information. We can learn some more information. Hare Krishna.
Many of the things will be mostly, if I get a chance in next week, I will cover the main 14 planetary system. This is the Bhumandala, which is been described, where the earth comes. I mentioned the salt water ocean. So there is earth existing there. So other than that, each islands will come to know how this. It's like it's called Bhuloka Swarga, basically. We'll see in the further slides or the next class. It's a very interesting understanding, basically. And one more video is there, which I'll play in the next week if possible. That is the chandelier which is going to be made in the Mayapur temple, the Vedic planetarium. We can cover in the next week, possibly. That's a small video again, and we can understand more from that video itself.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I just wanted to know how your experience was when you were working in Mayapur project temple.
Yeah, it was like what I heard from the devotees before I could join there. like that area which is now we can see the temple, there were many trees there actually. So I was just telling that how the Vedic planetarium, that temple which is existing, came into picture. So Prabhupada decided that the temple should be built, but before the temple was there, that a whole area there were many trees and many structures there. So devotees, before cutting those trees, they used to, I heard this from the devotees' experiences, they used to cry to the tree, basically, so much attached to the trees and all the, means we can understand how this Mayapur itself is a spiritual world. So the devotees could relate to trees also, basically. they were hugging the trees and crying, and then they cut the trees. Basically, this was how the area was cleared. Anybody has seen the Mayapur before this temple of Vedic planetarium construction started? I have seen that, basically. So I can relate how there were, I think so, thousands of trees. So devotees who were given the service of cutting these trees, basically to clear that area and build the TOP, before I could join, in 2010 I joined there, TOP. In 2009 or 2008 itself, they started cutting the trees one by one, and slowly they demarked the area and started cutting the trees. So when I reached there and started hearing, I could relate that how this Mayapur itself is a spiritual world and how we can relate. And once I started working there, it was like I was, before that I had been working with the Gulf and in India also. The relationship with the devotees there, which I developed, and on daily basis I could see Radha Madhav deities before going to the work. Possibly we could attend Mangalarti. We had 3 friends basically who went from Bangalore and Belgaum. Basically, my native is Belgaum, so three of us went from Belgaum itself. So those 2 devotees, one is staying in Bangalore itself. His name is Karuna. His name is Karuna. Is Sandeep Karuna something it comes, and Siddheshwar. These 2 devotees were there with me. So we built a relationship with each other. It was like we were out of this material world. I had a feeling that I was not in this material world itself. That kind of feeling was there when I was working there, basically. Means we used to talk, we used to discuss most of the times like how this Vedic planetarium is coming, and our Sadbhuj Prabhu is the main director of this project actually. He was the main person involved in this Prabhupada Samadhi Mandir also. Sadbhuj Prabhu is the person who built that Samadhi Mandir, Prabhupada Samadhi Mandir we see, So that Samadhi Mandir was built by Sadbhuj Prabhu. So Sadbhuj Prabhu is the same person who is involved in this temple of Vedic planetarium also. So a lot of times we were given a chance to go to his room, and he used to show us what is coming up and so many things. And the other part also, like commercial things also we discussed, but we felt more of like we are out of the material world kind of thing, because whatever I worked in this material situations was not there basically to say like I did not feel that anxiety or stress over there. And when I was there almost a year, I was in charge for the field works, quality and field work. So I used to monitor this piling. Basically, you see the piling if you see the Bangalore flyover, which we are making now, there are piles dig. And so basically, there were thousands of piles driven to make the Vedic planetarium for building stand, which is such a huge structure. Basically, why it was done? Because Prabhupada wanted a stone temple actually. A stone temple, if you build it, will start sinking further. So to avoid that, it was come to RCC, and even that RCC itself cannot sustain the load. So we had to drive the piles, and I was involved in the piling activity. Though it was a material thing, and there was one more complaint by the devotees staying in the Mayapur itself, that Sometimes we used to drive these piles in the late evenings and even in the early mornings. So this there was a big sound. It's a orthodox kind of piling. We will hit the shell inside, put the reinforcement and pour the concrete basically. So when they used to hit the shell inside the ground, there used to be a lot of sound and there used to be vibration also. In chakra building, when we used to work, we should feel the vibration. So devotees to complain that this vibration, this sound is not good. They should stop working in the late evenings and early mornings, and sometimes night also they stop working. So later devotees, basically Jananivas Prabhu and all the senior devotees came up with the saying that the sound which is coming, it's like a sankirtan which is going on, and that's what so many things came up in between. Like we could relate to these things and how whatever happens in Mayapur, it's like all transcendental and it's spiritual basically. That's what was my experience. I still remember those days, whatever I had with the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your experience in Mayapur. Hare Krishna. Request other devotees or other participants kindly open up and ask your questions. Whatever doubts you might have got while seeing this, while hearing Prabhuji, you can ask. Please open up.
Hare Krishna. If there are no doubts, you can express your appreciations also. You can share how you felt. What is that you learned? One point at
Yeah,
least.
I would like to hear any points or something which you appreciated or
Recall.
understood during this class.
Please. Okay, anyhow, you should not wait this much time for a few words of appreciation at least. See, it's a expression of thanks. There is no
It
depth of
can be in
words.
other languages also, might be. You can say that it's in other languages also. You can, whatever comfortable language.
ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
ಪ್ರಭು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಪ್ರಭುಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೋದ ವಾರ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದೆ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಭು ಹತ್ರ ಮರಾಠಿನೇ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು. ಹರಿಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪ್ರಭು, ಜಮುನಾ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಪ್ರಭು ನಾನು.
ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ.
ದಂಡೋತ್ ಪ್ರಣಾಮ ಪ್ರಭು.
ದಂಡೋತ್ ಪ್ರಣಾಮ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮದಿ.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your nice class. We understood that there are 7 islands and 7 oceans which were done by one Maharaj.
Priyavrata Maharaj, King Priyavrata.
Okay. Priyavrata Maharaj. And there were different liquids of that oceans. We learned, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
That was interesting, Prabhuji. That kind of liquids it was different, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Thank you,
it's hard to believe, but it's there existing in the
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Jambu means salt water. Plaksa means sugar cane. Namaki means liquor. Kusha means buttermilk. I have written little only.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes.
I can't talk more.
Yeah, correct, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandot Pranam.
Dandot Pranam. Nice, Mataji.
There is also one message in chat box, Prabhuji. HP. I don't know who it is. If you can kindly unmute HP, you can please speak. They are saying, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for providing valuable words. Do we have HP? Hare Krishna. Please let us know your name. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, my name is Madhusudan Reddy.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for giving the valuable speech, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
I hope so. It makes some understanding about the creation, Prabhuji.
Yeah, not much, Prabhuji. Okay, little bit I understood what is exactly.
Yeah. Further, you can understand because this the Supreme Lord's creation is so wonderful. Whatever
Okay.
actually this earth is only the karma bhumi. Other places are for enjoyment only. If you see in the further slides, you can
Okay,
understand
Prabhuji.
that how it is. Other places other than earth, other places are all karma bhumi. This is only the karma bhumi. Other places on the top or in the below, there is a lot of enjoyment. Though it's a hellish not hellish actually. Only hellish planet is the last one. Patal Loka is the hellish planet. Otherwise, other lokas, even there is also enjoyment, which you'll see in the further slides.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna. If there are no more comments or questions, Vijayata Mataji, can you please conclude? And
Yes,
thanks sincerely, Vrindavan Shampoo.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna
yes.
Prabhu, your speech is very nice and I am blessing all that. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna
Mataji.
Prabhu.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I would also like to thank you, Prabhuji, for giving such nice information about all these planets. And also, we understood that there has to be a creator who who does this creation. And there are many scientists who believe that. And there were also, you gave us a little bit introduction about how Krishna creates and maintains everything under his supremacy. Everything goes on creation. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving us this much knowledge. And we also like to hear you more, Prabhuji, in further classes. So please kindly inform us about other things also in the creation. Thank you so
Yes,
much,
Mataji.
Prabhuji,
Next,
for your valuable
most
time
probably
today.
next week. Yeah, next week,
Yes.
if possible, I'll see what can be done.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hari Hari Bol.
Hare
I
Krishna,
think all the
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
No, Mataji,
Yes,
I
sir.
don't have any questions. No, don't have. I don't have any questions.